My name's Heather, and I'm someone who really likes to challenge myself. I think doing hard things makes us grow as a person, and often we can achieve things we didn't even believe was possible. So I decided I'm going to set myself a goal of what if I run a 5k every day for 31 days straight. This wasn't a challenge of time or speed, but just a challenge of commitment. Could I commit to showing up every day, even when it's cold, when it's rainy, when it's dark outside? I wanted to know if I could complete this, what would happen, or what could I learn? Over the course of the 31 days, I ended up running a total of 104.8 miles because on some days when I was running, I ended up going a 10k or doing a 7k. So in total, it added up to the equivalent of running 4 marathons in total. And that's definitely the most miles I've ever ran in a month. So why did I do this and what inspired me to do this? I did this because I started reading the book Never Finished by David Goggins. It's his second book. If you don't know who David Goggins is, you should really look into him because he's this really mad, inspiring man. Lots of people don't like him, but I really like him. I think he achieves things that people don't even think is possible. And he's come from a really bad background and he's just super inspiring at what he has achieved in his life. And as I was reading his book, I decided I needed to put myself into another challenge. I recently just finished a half marathon in October with a time of 1 hour 55. I was pretty proud of that time because I actually didn't train for a sub 2 hour half marathon. So the fact that I achieved that was like madness to me. But since October, I kind of laid off running a bit just to give myself a bit of a break. And so putting myself into this challenge was just another way to get me back into running again and challenge myself to do something that feels really uncomfortable. So what did I learn from doing this? To be completely honest, not a lot. I wish I could sit here and tell you that, like, oh my god, like my running has got so much better and oh my god, like this is amazing. But honestly, it didn't really impact my running that much. Maybe it was because I didn't challenge myself with the speed and time. Maybe if I did, it would be a different story. I'm sure it would. But honestly, I just found myself getting more and more kind of tired as the weeks went on. The thing is that I was also balancing this with other training, such as strength training. And so I did find it very hard to balance these two together because at the end of the day, it's quite a big chunk of your time of the day that you have to take out to make sure you can dedicate yourself to do a 5k. And with having a shower and, you know, getting ready for the run, this adds up to like an hour of your day every day, on top of then your other commitments with work or seeing friends or whatever. I think the biggest challenge wasn't actually the runs themselves, but it definitely was fitting it into my schedule. You definitely have to plan ahead, otherwise it's easier for you to make excuses. If you know that you're going to see friends, you have to plan, okay, I'm going to do it this day, this hour before I see those friends. Otherwise, I know that I'll end up chilling with them in the evening and then I won't get the 5k in. So if you want to do a challenge like this, you definitely have to plan ahead. And it was quite tricky, especially this month. I had a lot of Christmas lunches and Christmas outings with friends. And so I definitely had to always be planning ahead of, okay, I'm going to do it in the morning. I'm going to do it at this time, so that I knew that I could get it in. But that was definitely the biggest challenge, was fitting it into my schedule every day. This really teaches you to not listen to your excuses. You know, there's always going to be excuses of I'm tired, it's winter, it's dark outside, it's raining. All of these things, I didn't sleep well last night. And yet it's about not listening to those excuses. They can be there and they're going to come up, but you learn to not listen to them. Because the reality is, if you listen to your excuses, you will never achieve the thing you want to achieve. You have to learn to zone out your feelings and be able to focus on the thing you want to do. Now, during this challenge, I also committed myself to doing around 20 minutes of stretching every day. I think I missed like 3 days of stretching overall in the month. Stretching helps with your range of motion in your joints. It helps you improve performance. And most importantly, with a challenge like this, it helps you to reduce risk of injury, which is super important because running is quite a high impact sport on your joints and your feet. And so you really need to be stretching those muscles, making sure you're looking after yourself afterwards. Otherwise, your hamstrings and your legs are going to be so tight and this is going to be much harder for you. One thing I did also forget to mention that I think people will want to know is, did I lose any weight? And I didn't set this challenge to do with weight. This was more a mental challenge for me. But what I will say is I definitely noticed within the first week, my stomach definitely appeared much more lean to me. But the thing is, I did not change my diet in December, and because of Christmas, I was definitely eating and drinking a bit more. And so overall, I didn't really notice much change to my weight. However, I definitely know that's to do with my diet, because with anything, if you want to lose weight, diet and exercise, they go together. And because I didn't change my diet, I didn't notice that much difference in my weight. And finally, would I do this again? I personally wouldn't, because it's not really in alignment with my fitness goals, but I did really enjoy it. I think it was a great challenge. At the end of the day, it's only a month, and I definitely do think that rest days, active rest days, mind you, which is where you're still moving your body, maybe going for a walk, maybe doing some light yoga, not where you're just sitting on the couch and not moving your body. But I still think taking rest days is really important in order for you to recover. I definitely felt as time went on, especially in the last week, that my body just was not able to recover as well. But that's it, that's what I learned. I learned that it makes you very tired. I would definitely recommend that if you are interested in doing something like this, for you to do it, because it really is great to push yourself out of your comfort zone into things that you don't think is possible. And then when you achieve it, it's like you're like, oh, okay, what can I do now? So it's definitely really great for your self-esteem. Even if a 5K seems too much to you, why don't you just start with a 2K? No matter where you're starting from, you can start from somewhere and do something that will help you. Start by going on a 20-minute walk every day. If that is something big for you, it's still a massive achievement. If you can commit to that for a month, that's a massive, massive achievement. So meet yourself on a level that feels good and set yourself that challenge. And yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and Happy New Year.